Logan's doing that.
Gather around, people.
I'm just gonna turn this off.
Here we are.
For all the radio heads out there, see you later. Get on YouTube.
I don't know why, but
Times are changing.
my thing looks really brown for some reason. My webcam.
Webcam looks brown.
Damn.
It looks stinky.
Sorry,
as
is
well.
This is the 60s.
What's going on here?
It does look like that, actually. Okay. Let me see how this sounds.
Bye, everyone.
You'd think Apple would
Oh,
have.
Get on
Bye.
YouTube.
Like
I'll
good.
send out a message.
Fuck
though.
our wee test. That's okay. It's already been 48 seconds anyway. Like. It's already been 48 seconds anyway.
This sounds pretty decent on here.
But
This sounds pretty decent on here. I am aware of it.
okay.
Right now, people are just tuning into me looking brown and fuck.
No one's out there.
Should we gather
All
around?
brown Logan.
Wow. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it's like.
Is this a filter? Like, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will be talking about the movies we made. These motion pictures.
It is quite intense.
I don't know.
Wait, he looked up and threw us.
Did you shit on your computer?
I guess that's probably what I done.
It must have been that one time.
Edit. Cancel. I don't know what filters on. Should we put the YouTube link in the chat?
Yeah, I'll do it. Or I guess.
Yeah, there we go. Here we are, Charlie.
Gosh, this makes sense for episode 1. This is like in the timeline. We've just figured out live streaming, so it looks old, and they're just gonna keep getting better and better. Let me put this the link in. I wonder how this looks and sounds. Good grief.
Looks pretty.
What is this? Have you like?
I don't know, but
What is this?
I've tried that.
Oh, I've got some wet wipes. If you want.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, what I don't understand is why it's brown. Okay, this is like.
Give it, just give it a little wet wipe, yeah.
Oh, that made it worse. That's bloody. Wait, I've got some dry wipes as well.
This is better, I think. Still brown?
This is
What?
Have you ever wanted to know what it feels like to be swimming in a river in India?
Senegal.
Come gather around, people. Where will you go?
Daniel, have you seen it? Well, now my Instagram story is useless. Fucking useless. Well, I don't like. Well, we heard it sounded fine.
It sounds fine.
Okay.
This is like still a step up because we wouldn't have had visuals before.
Well,
No, we do.
massive step up.
True.
If you get Ben and Nathan in at some point, you can just maybe like sit in the studio and use like the good cameras, hooking up to the live streaming.
Maybe I'll do something different for each episode.
It'll look better.
This is the brown YouTube live stream.
Maybe it'll get better.
Well, I guess I'll just introduce this then. This is not air on air, but technically is.
Try sitting over here, I can look at you.
Yeah. I'll sit in the middle.
You like the world.
I think that's my prized role.
The word.
How can I do this?
Welcome, 3 people. We're talking ATVAs. This is the first episode. Josh made one, Logan made one, and we're going to talk about them. Probably not for long because we've had technical difficulties and other schedules. But for whoever's listening, we're going to talk about them for like half an hour or so.
Okay.
How are you guys doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, this is a fun new way to do this. Radio found dead in the ditch.
Well,
yeah. I'm excited to hear about these. I know about yours more than I know about yours. I've heard like
Horror
brief
stories?
stuff. Horror stories. Well, it is a horror story,
It is a horror story.
so it
Kind
wouldn't
of.
it wouldn't be a true one without production horror.
Indeed.
Do you want
I think we might be cursed actually.
to?
Because we shot in a graveyard.
Yep.
That was the first day of shooting.
Mhm.
And that night when I got home, Joel told me that night turns out was the highest holiday in the satanic calendar.
Damn.
So
Damn.
I'm assuming we're 100% cursed from shooting on people's graves on the night of the highest. I had crazy ass dreams going home that night because there was a bunch of chavs.
Going home, you had crazy dreams.
On the way
Sounds
home, I was
bad.
like, no, but that night, because there was chavs in the graveyard and they were getting closer, but we never saw them.
Mm.
You could just hear them. So it was kind of like a horror film in and of itself. And in my dream, the chavs were running after us wearing like Satan traditional dress
Wow.
and following us down the hill from the graveyard.
Sam Hain coming for you.
It was spooky.
I can imagine.
You can turn this off. I mean, what should we open with? Should I just talk about like how production went for each of you?
I guess.
Yeah.
So.
What the fuck?
I'm still trying to figure out a way to sit comfortably. And
Yeah,
not be
I'm
gone.
gonna see the.
There we go. Roll the frame.
No realizing how like
I feel like I'm turning into an interview here.
how winged.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, how's the process? You spent more time on yours, like over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Yours is pretty.
Oh, 2 shooting days. It
Yeah,
was,
yeah. Mine was the exact same.
Yeah.
So like, how was
very
that?
condensed.
Yeah, I guess Logan, I'll ask you, how was like doing it over a longer period of time? And did you know from early on you'd need like kind of a long shooting schedule?
I didn't think that, to be honest. And it was meant to be longer. This is the shorter version.
Okay.
But yeah, the original thing is like I wrote the first draft in December because free. There's free time there. Could do whatever I wanted.
Fair
and
enough.
then the first draft didn't even have a puppet in it. Didn't
Just
have
had the
a puppet in
guy.
it. It was just the guy. It was like much the same structure, but then there was a piece of the puzzle I was missing,
Right.
and that was the puppet.
So why did you go for a puppet then? What was the piece of the puzzle? Just like extra comedy value, or was it?
I think so, yeah. It was just like there needed to be something that the character like latched onto.
Mhm.
And originally it was just going to be a little object, and I thought, what if that object could talk? There you go.
Puppets are famous for speaking
Yeah, exactly.
slightly too much.
Exactly. Here we are. I think it benefited very well from.
And so, because I remember talking to you ages ago, and there's like elements of the film that still exist, but it's like evolved quite a bit. As you say, the
Yeah.
puppet inclusion and stuff like that. How many, not drafts, but like, how many times did the film shift quite a bit?
It's like 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 times. And then like the ending's totally different from what it is.
Yeah.
It was originally meant to be another scene, and then we were shooting what ended up being the final scene, and I thought, nah, this is it. This is the ending. And then like it's 15 minutes anyway, so if I went and shot that other one, it'd be way over time.
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what timing would be like. I thought this was going to be like 8 minutes long at most, and it ended up being 15 minutes. So
yeah,
I really need to get on the lock with that.
So did you put, when you had to fill in the form, did you say 10 to 15 or did you say 5 to 10?
I said 10 to 15 just as
to be
as
safe.
a cautious, but I thought it might be 10.
To be honest, I did that as well because I wasn't sure if it was going to be 3 minutes or 18. So I had to, because the script is 3 pages long. The movie ended up being 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, could go either way. Fuck it, who knows?
Yeah. So how did you find that? When did you first like? Because you've been talking about the vampire thing for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's like changed since then, but what was the kind
Completely.
of creative process up until shooting?
Well, it's been a lot of like thinking about it and putting it on pause until I actually have time to think about it properly. You know what I mean? Because I think what happened was I wanted to do like a comedy horror film in the first place. It kind of just started with that aesthetic more than anything else. And I talked to my pal Aidan about it, and he wanted to make a movie as well. That was that same vibe. And we just wanted to make a movie together that wasn't like with uni, you know,
Yeah.
which could have been like just that thing that was kind of missing.
Yeah.
So we started talking about this film, and we went to watch Nosferatu together. And then I just kind of got obsessed with vampires for a bit, as I often do, on a bi-yearly basis. I've got my vampire phase, got my ancient Greek phase from time to time. It just kind of depends. And I was like, right, let's do a vampire story. And Aidan told me about the story of the Gorbals vampire. Right. So this bunch of teenagers in the 60s, I think, or maybe the 50s, I can't remember, thought a vampire was killing all their like siblings and kids and shit, right? So a bunch of these teenagers went to the necropolis for 3 nights with like baseball bats and shit, trying to find this vampire that had iron teeth and kill him.
It's pretty awesome.
Vampires was not there. So on the 3rd day, the police sent them home because they were causing a bit of a ruckus. So I was like, okay, what if we made a movie like that with a bunch of teenagers going up to the necropolis trying to find the vampire, and just kind of take that story and making it into an actual film? But there is a vampire, right?
And who plays the vampire?
Aidan, because he's tall and lanky.
I don't think
Like
I know Aidan.
Mr. Orlok.
Yeah, he's a good Mr. Orlok for a young Mr. Orlok. You know what I mean? The vampire is just called the vampire in this film.
Nice.
I didn't think about.
Keep it simple.
I was kind of gutted because I just kind of named the characters out of like Speed, whatever first name came to my head was. Named the main character is called Joseph, because that's the only thing that kind of sticks from the Joseph Gorbals.
Oh yeah,
the Gorbals vampire. But everyone else, and then Joe watched the movie and she was like, "Why'd you name them that?" And I was like, "I don't know. Why didn't you name them like Dracula names? Why isn't this fucking Thomas or whatever?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." But
I can't be bothered naming things a lot of the time. I'm just called Logan in mine.
yeah,
I'm just called Dylan in mine.
Yeah.
And the pup is called John.
that's
That
almost
was
Josh.
like it can't be Josh, but it can be
Let's
something
change
different
one letter.
that's funnier.
Funnier than Josh.
Funnier to say
Okay.
in the American accent that I've got on.
John.
John. Whereas I go like Josh.
Josh.
John. John just sounds better.
It does
Feels
sound
like
better. I feel like Americans calling each other John just doesn't
no,
sound right.
it doesn't sound right, and I like
It doesn't
that.
sound good in their mouth.
Mm, definitely. It wasn't made for that kind of world.
No. The new one.
How are you feeling
Like
like
you were.
juice wise? Like, have you made your thing? Are you wanting to just move on to the next thing, or you're pretty like burnt out from making that already?
I mean, kind of, but also not really. Like, it's the thing is, I feel like because the movie. Yeah. So what I was saying is like that was the original story, but it's completely changed from there because of just time constraints, means of production, story wise, blah blah blah. Now it's just something completely different that you'll have to witness. There's no remnants of the Gorbals vampire except for Joseph. But I think when I was more burnt out making the film rather than when it was done.
Yeah.
Because we had so little time, and I was kind of thinking like, what if the people that I'm doing this with aren't like don't actually want to be doing this? What
That's
if it's
the
like
big fear.
because I'm taking them out up the fucking hill in the middle of the night at like 2 a.m. to film in a graveyard. Some of them might be religious and not want to do that.
Yeah.
No, that's some of the coolest shoots I've been on. So just going to like a random place like that at a random time. I mean,
100%.
there was 2 shoots on my film where I thought were really like. I mean, you can comment on one of them. Was that a cool shoot?
That was an awesome shoot.
What was that shit?
We trekked for like half an hour, 45 minutes
That's crazy.
to get to the side of a cliff. to shoot there. I love how it turned out.
I'm excited to see that. That must look epic.
I mean, yeah, it's always worth it. Like, just trek out a little bit further to a location you haven't been to.
Yeah, it's like a
And
10-minute drive as
it makes
well.
it feel like so
And
cinematic.
it's just so secluded.
Yeah.
And I only knew about it because I went on a walk there years ago. And it just like, why is this in Stirling? Like, this looks like
Stirling is a place
500
like that.
miles
There's
away.
just random shit.
Yeah, like
That's-
quarry as well.
There's a cave somewhere. And it's like, what? Waterfalls.
Mm.
No, but I do agree because I really wanted the scene in a church because I think the scenes were good and necessary for the film thematically, and we could have shot them in the chaplaincy, but then it wouldn't have had the same weight to them at all, or
Not at
comedy
all.
value.
Yeah.
So I really wanted the church for that, which is why I dragged Tom around Stirling and we walked door to door, like 5 or 6 churches.
How many people were on that shoot?
It was a very bare bones shoot. So
I think that's the only week.
yeah, the first day it was Tom, Kearney, me, Joe and Janie and Aidan as the vampires.
Mm.
And then the second day, most of the day was just Tom and me and Joe.
Mm.
But she had other stuff to do at the same time, so it was
Yeah.
like here and there.
Mhm.
But she did do most of the shooting for that.
Mhm.
And then Janie and Aidan joined us after that.
Nice.
And oh yeah, because we actually shot in the library as well,
Oh,
which
really?
on the third level,
Okay. Oh yeah,
which
great
was a
place.
lot of fun. But like you can't speak.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want it this way.
Around exam season as well.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why I thought of library in town.
No,
Town
like the
campus.
uni. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That was.
Because the second layer in town is like actually pretty old feeling.
I've never been there, man.
Yeah.
This is the one next to City Walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually be a good location.
Never been there. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have the spinny?
No, but it looks like it could,
Okay.
which is all that matters. Pretty cool library. I'm really excited to see yours. I don't know much about it.
I think not knowing anything about my film is probably the best way to
Yeah.
watch it
Mhm.
because.
See, I have access to all the files.
Do you-
I have access
have you
to
seen
all
it
of
yet?
them.
Or
I've not. No, I'm not going to watch any of
Okay.
them because I feel like that'll just ruin the night.
Okay, fair enough.
But I just went on to everyone to note down the times. We've got to schedule the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think yours is one of the longer ones.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
Really?
I think.
Oh.
I believe we are. Let me look at this little time here. I've got all the files down.
Again, I'm very surprised at that. I didn't know if we had enough footage for a minute and a half. I didn't know if we could. If this was going to be a TikTok or
Yours
like,
is the fourth longest.
the fourth longest.
Yeah.
TikTok.
Dead Nuts, Puppet Love Fame. All right, interesting. 12. Tale of a Vampire Hunter. Oh, is that Rory's one?
Yeah.
Nice. Murder Down in Stirling Town. I'm not going to read out all the titles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited. Some of these sound like they're going to be.
I think it's going to be exciting. Exciting
Banging.
time. It feels like a bit more of a breeze. It's 40 minutes less than the show last year.
Oh, that is.
So I
good.
feel like it's
Mhm.
going to be a nice one, a lot of time for awards and stuff like that.
So
Nice
how
breaks.
does that? Because this is going to be my first
Yeah,
Atlas.
it's my second.
How does it work?
I think we're going bigger and bolder this year.
Mhm.
Okay.
Last year it was just kind of like
Is it the 20th of June or May?
May.
Okay.
So just under 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So last year it was just like films playing one after the other, then a break, then films playing one after the other, then a break, and then the awards. We had to kind of speed run the awards
Yeah.
a little bit since we didn't have much time. But this year, Ben and Nathan have this whole kind of intro planned and a lot of indents planned, and then they're going to go up and intro every film, I think.
Okay.
And then it'll be the same thing of like we have a break in the middle, and then we'll have a break between the second half and the awards, and then the awards. And hopefully we'll have more time for the awards and stuff like that. Take our time a little bit, have plenty of breaks. I think it'll be a nice night.
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Mhm.
And so it's all the teachers that are the judges for the awards.
Not
Question
just. We've got some alumni in there, some AirTV
Alright.
alumni.
Okay.
In terms of judges that we have teacher-wise, we've got Stuart Hepburn.
I'm excited for that.
We've got.
He's going to be so disappointed in my script. Like it is pish.
I'd be surprised. He commented on mine pretty positively, and it was like pretty much non-existent.
That's, yeah, I don't know
He's
how
a big
he's going
Fishman
to.
fan, as I recall.
I don't know why.
I think he's going to look at the script I submitted from a dissertation and look at that piece of pish and be like,
What happened here?
So we've got Stuart, we've got Jamie and Kevin, we've got Michael, most likely, if he has time.
thank God, my audio's all over the place.
Oh,
Michael's
fuck.
going to be gutted.
No Dario, he's too busy, but he might show up on the night.
Okay.
Do you know who's watching this?
Yeah, I know.
I did not know that.
Who is watching this?
Ben McQuaid.
No, I was talking about the
I
other
know.
guy. Hello, Scottish geek guy. I don't have my pen and game glory on me, but thanks for tuning in.
Yes, Gorbals
actually can't
as
read very
in
much.
Glasgow Gorbals, but also that's my little joke because it's also Joseph Goebbels. But sorry, I didn't know there were comments. I need to pay attention. Like,
I can kind of see the names because they're in bold, but I can't read anything unless I put my glasses.
I'm just dyslexic. I fucking- I'll be having to do apologies at that award ceremony, by the way, because there are two names that I misspelled, which I'm pissed about because I fucking
Tom's.
No, not Tom.
Okay, good.
Funnily enough, Mr.
no.
Consonants.
No,
over here.
I think it's like with Tom's, you have to double check it. And I've double checked it so many times, I just know it now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I double checked every name that I put in, and it was like there was just a couple that slipped
It's
through
the
cracks.
simple ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we
Like,
get you.
I'll
I had to
tell
double check yours, which was hard, by the way.
you, is it?
It's hard. I went on your Instagram. You don't have it there. I think I had to like
No.
dig deep to try and find your
I'm
second
sorry
name.
about that.
It's all good.
I don't-
I got it in the end. I found my file. I think that was your LinkedIn.
I told Kearney happy birthday on LinkedIn. Fun little.
I need to lock in on LinkedIn.
Same actually. As soon as I get into fourth year, I need to like start posting dissertation pics.
No.
I know. Okay.
I've not posted on Instagram since I started uni. I'm thinking of just doing like 4 posts, first year, second, and third, and just.
Or just a post.
I'll
I'm
do
leaving here. See me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Got my updates. Go LinkedIn. That might be the way. Yeah, it's very exciting to hear about everything. I mean, this is I haven't seen a Josh Van Hoos production before.
Have you not? No.
No, like
Interesting.
so. Like, how many films have you made, kind of in the creative space? Because obviously, I've seen you make like documentary stuff.
So in the creative space, not much. I think the first thing I did that was pretty sizable. I'm going to say sizable production, as in a separate guy handling the camera,
Yeah.
as opposed to just me. Was when I was about 12, because our school had a big problem with bullying, specifically in my class. And what the teachers thought would be cool is if we made a short film about bullying altogether.
Nice.
And so they contacted the council to be like, "Oh, do you know anyone that can like help us do this as a school?" To be fair, it really helped because it actually got us all close together. And I, as the main victim, played the bully, which was a lot of fun to do a little switcheroo and kind of put myself forward to direct that project. And that was kind of my awakening. And then from there, it's been.
I have a similar story actually.
Yeah, do you actually?
Like from high school was my awakening. We had this kind of like charity. We got put into groups in our religious education class, and it was like you've got to make a presentation about this charity, and the best one will like go help Strathcarron Hospice and stuff like that. And I thought I was in a group of like 3. I was like, you know what, we'll make a short film for it, and we'll call it Logan versus Cancer.
Wow.
And so,
Sorry, what the fuck?
The story.
Did you shave your head for the film?
No, I never had
Did
cancer.
you have a ball cap?
No, I was fighting cancer. So
Right.
my friend had cancer.
In the ring.
So what happened? The plot was my friend has cancer,
Mhm.
and I'm like at his deathbed. I'm like, nah, I'm going to fucking kill cancer. And then I ran out, and you know Corey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen these clips.
Yeah, Corey was there, and we were fighting each other.
Mhm.
And then I successfully killed cancer, but it was too late. My friend died.
Damn.
And then
See, that's a very AirTV type
yeah,
concept, though.
It is.
So that's.
and then Corey said, "What is this? I don't know what this is for. This is a class thing. I don't want to be any part of this." So I had to reshoot it with another guy. And then
How do you feel about being cancer?
yeah, but then we didn't get. I thought we would get like
Trouble?
like looking back at it now, like we just made a piss take video of me fighting cancer, set to Ballroom Blitz. Never got in trouble at all. I think it's. I don't know.
I think that's kind of one of the things, like, I kind of feel like I always overthink how much trouble I'll get into by doing these things. Because I know I'm not allowed to do them, but it turns out there's never really any consequences.
No, same. I mean, for this film specifically, there's been like, like the day after I shot.
I'm not going to knock on wood, though.
Yeah, I know.
Let's not.
Like the day after I shot the big stunt for this film, and then we done another big shoot the second day. I was like shitting myself waking up on the Friday morning, like I could be fucked here. Like I'm fucked. They're all coming after me. The police are going to see me. And then I feel like it's just kind of like left my body now. I'm like, you know what? It's fine.
One thing that always surprises me is like not just how chill everyone is, but like how excited people are for filming.
Yeah.
Like even though on paper it's like we're doing a bad thing or this like an illegal thing, usually they're just like, oh sweet, it's just like a charming thing that like kids are making films. Like they're always just like, oh nice, you filming?
Yeah.
And you always expect the opposite, but they're always pretty.
But that makes
Yeah.
sense because I think it's like one of those things where you think about all the filmmakers you admire, and it's like there's people that took the risks and did the thing and didn't let people say no. Like, I mean, you've got both. Like, you've got Ed Wood on one side that just does everything anyway, and then is shit. And then you've got Herzog on the other side, which is just morally. It's not even morally ambiguous. It's just wrong. Like, your brother crucified a monkey, and you're like, the dedication. It's like. But you know, yeah, but he saved that monkey from poachers first. So he stole, I think it was between 100 and 500, I can't remember, but it was a huge, maybe 75. It was a big amount of monkeys that he like silver tongued away from poachers, and then just put them all on a raft and sent them down the Amazon River. So it's like,
there should be a movie about that.
Yeah.
Died for his art.
I'm going to make a documentary about this guy one day. This is all big up David Fleming for all this, by the way. He's the one that told me about Herzog. He died from rats as well.
He died rats?
He died rats. He had brown rats, but he wanted grey rats. So he just put them in boiling water for like 15 seconds, pulled them out, and then just let them loose in Vienna and filmed it.
Because it was that for Nosferatu?
No, it might be actually. I don't know. I can't remember.
That's the most rare thing.
Yeah. Accurate. Did he film that one in Vienna?
See, it seems like the kind of film that would be filmed.
I know the castle's in Germany, but maybe the streets are from Vienna. I don't know that details. Or you see like a big rat guy in general? So all I know is that there's tons of rats and that.
It could have been. I just know the shocking events. Very little about the context.
Some Watch Mojo top 10.
Exactly.
Plugs from Herzog.
I feel like that's a lot of David Fleming's classes. Is like, so here's the important stuff. By the way, he also did this crazy shit. But anyway, going back to philosophy. You know what I mean?
Did you do the global film module?
No, I did film and philosophy.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Was it the third year one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's called global film. As of now, I think. Yeah.
But there's also was that through philosophy or film?
It was through film, but I was originally going to do a double degree with like film and religion. Why not?
but I did a film philosophy class that's philosophy first. Like it's a philosophy module. It's philosophy in film.
It was a philosophy module. It was.
So I've done this as well, but it wasn't by David Fleming. Maybe he took over after Jack left.
I know it was David Fleming, and I think Darren Smith was the other teacher. I don't know if it's.
No, I did a different one, but it was cool. But I had to I took that as like a fourth module because film wouldn't let me. So I just took that and didn't do the assignments. I just went to everything.
I think because I was still doing religion, because it was it wasn't religion, it was like religion, ethics, and society, and that I could still weasel my way into modules like that. But honestly, I'm not even sure. I just kind of fucking selected shit I was allowed to, and just let's see how that goes. I did politics in first year.
Why not?
I don't know.
I did marketing.
You did what?
Marketing.
But I feel like that makes sense though. It's like
I done sport. I done teaching actually.
Wow, that's super random.
I know. It was bad. Our teacher was very nice though. That's one thing I'll say.
I feel like I'm slowly every year I'm gonna become a teacher.
Yeah.
And become stronger and stronger.
I think I will be a teacher towards the end of my career. Yeah. Like that's a milestone I've always seen being the case.
I've been told I don't even know why. When I'm younger, how do you gauge a kid would be a good teacher? But I was always told you'd be a great teacher. All right. I
can see if someone's going for there's a primary school teacher vibe that I get about people. High school teacher, I feel like it's harder to gauge.
Yeah. I don't know why. They both have pros and cons.
I think a primary school teacher has to be good with kids first, and then a teacher second. Yeah. And then the more you go, it's more like, right, we need experts in your subject more than dealing with people type of shit. But actually not even, because I remember I had a math teacher that was just such a mathy guy that he wouldn't teach us math. Yeah. He'd just be like, well, that's wrong.
But they're not, they teach you stuff, but it's mainly, kind of glorified babysitting. It's educational babysitting. Yeah. Not babysitting as in they're super young, but kind of what do you guiding them towards some sort of growth. Yeah. Which I quite like.
I think we should go back to the ancient Athens system. You've got one mentor, teaches you the way of life. You know what I
He'll
mean?
molest you, but let me tell you,
Oh,
he's
it's
got
a
some
very
great
profitable.
takes. So great.
I feel like you can learn a lot from molestation.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks, you know what I mean?
It's very funny. I think, I don't know, there is a lot to learn. I saw this, it was probably a tweet that was transferred to Instagram, but it was like, I probably would have been hella smart if I was like one of the first 10 people, like in relation to Socrates. And I do like the idea, it's like, oh, this guy's so smart. It's like, yeah, but like, there was no one else that existed. He just
Yeah.
like, he actually just got his takes jotted down and then became clever. Maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the things I love. Like, I love doing, because for my dissertation, my screenplay was about like ancient Greece a little bit. So I love the phase of just researching the shit out of ancient Greece and just learning the most random.
It's like the best
little-
phase of.
I got four pages into the Odyssey, and I thought I'm too stupid for this, but it looks cool.
But you know, no
I
one said, he
love
said,
it.
most people are probably too stupid for this to make a movie.
Yeah. I'm happy he's doing it. That's for me.
The thing I feel like with ancient Greek like text is a lot of it isn't actually like smart. It's just written by a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it difficult to read.
Yeah.
Like I had to read the Poetics, which was only like 26 pages or something. And the way it's phrased is like Aristotle's like, so in way of tragedy, by the way, we'll talk about comedy later, but going back to tragedy, so first of all, this is the thing. And then I read this whole tangent about why he categorizes things in like hot and cold and wet and dry. And it's like, right, so guys, by the way, worms, they might seem moist, but they're actually dry. So hear me out. And that's the essence of their being, you know what I mean? What about sea sponges, Aristotle? They're wet and cold. Yeah. So if you want to have a boy, since men are wet and warm and women are cold and warm, so wait, no, they're wet and cold, and men are wet and warm. If you want to conceive a boy, you should shag on a warm day.
He would have
That's
popped
good
off
thought.
on TikTok. I feel like
For real.
I feel that's kind of stuff. It's like this is purple. You know, you should say it's like 23, and they're like you like give it a color or something, just with like different trends. Socrates like every couple weeks be like, here's another trend. Another trend for you.
Have you ever thought about what a man is? Like, I feel like if you gave Socrates the internet, he would end up like, fuck it, what's this guy's name? Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
More Plato.
Yeah.
Bro's big into the gym as well. Like,
Plato. Yeah, I would love. There should be like a whole Greek side to the internet. I feel like bringing it back. That'll probably go really south really quickly.
there's so many pedophiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe when the Odyssey comes out. Maybe.
I'm looking forward to it. How are we looking for time? We're 1:45.
Yeah.
We're going for half an hour. And we've strayed pretty far from the ATVAs.
Oh yeah. Big time.
Is there anything else we'd like to discuss?
Do we have to stop the conversation? Or just...
I
we
got
don't.
one.
Ah, right.
So I mean, we can talk for another 5 minutes or so.
Okay. What else is to be said about Atlas?
So yours is black and white, right?
Mine's black and
Oh,
white,
cool, I
and
didn't know
it's
that.
also silent.
Oh, I didn't
Well,
know
I
it's
think
silent.
It's silent, yeah. It's black and white and silent.
Now, did that come? Was the audio shit? And you're like,
No, that was planned.
Okay.
before.
Oh, I had no
The-
idea it was silent. That's cool.
That did come because of means of production.
yeah.
Because, well, I didn't shoot with a script, first of all. I
Yeah.
wrote the script post-shoot, which is shit. And why the script is 3 pages long, because I'm literally just like, that happened, that happened, that happened.
Stuart Hepburn will like it then. That's what I
No,
did.
sorry?
Stuart Hepburn will like it then. That's what I did.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out.
See, mine says it's just a combination of notes. I've just got tons of notes and kind of a screenplay, like a short list and a script kind of combined.
Yeah. I can see, I feel like the thing is, it's like, I could have written a good script for it if I had the time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those films that's like,
Is
What?
it silent in the nature of like you've got text on the screen, or is it just okay?
yeah. Well, so it's just, I knew that I didn't have the time to write a proper script and have, proper dialogue
So you could just write it after, yeah.
Yeah, and then, but what was good with that is that we kind of really focused on like the visual storytelling side of things. And
Yeah, Tom was telling me a bit about but yours used a lot of the panel lights. And
A
stuff
lot
like
of the
that.
panel lights, yeah, because
Tom's new profile pictures from his film.
Is
You seen
it?
No.
well
This
on
makes
on
Tom
Instagram.
look like he's going to kill you, but in a cool way. Let me try and find it. But it's not here.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, so
The
we
razor
did,
head.
That's a Rory,
because we did because it
It's
was
like
black
that-
and
his
white.
old one.
It is. It
It's
is.
exactly like that.
It is. I didn't realize Rory's.
Rory
was-
Wood's old profile picture used to be exactly like that.
What has he done? Was it?
The template. No, it was just like, I don't know. It was the exact same as that.
If it's vampire films in black and white, by the way, I'm going.
I don't
It
think
is.
it's.
Well, some of it is.
Seriously?
Yeah, like half of it is.
Ours would be kind of similar then, because mine's basically driven by like music as well. There's no
Yeah.
like dialogue or script, to be honest.
I wouldn't say mine is driven by music either, because I think it's just kind of. It's more driven by the visuals, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right, yeah.
this is an epic set piece. This is because it was black and white, we really fucked about with the lighting a lot.
Okay.
And I think my favourite scene in the film happened, like, thanks to Kearney, because she was, I gave her the brief and she did it
Mm-hmm.
immediately, where you'll see towards the end of the film, there's a very long shot of just Tom staring off into the distance or whatever. And it's a very subtle thing where the lighting just kind of half of his face is dark and then it just slowly becomes bright.
That's cool.
But like, you barely notice it if you're not paying attention. So I'm telling you now, so that when you watch it, you'll be like,
So yeah, that's some Tina type stuff.
and that's why I was like, Tina's gonna love that.
Yeah, that's, if she ends up judging it,
If
we
she-
don't know yet.
Yeah. Well, I talked to her the other day and she was like, yeah. So,
When was that?
yesterday.
She's been patching us.
Has she been patching news?
Patching Ben and Nathan's emails.
That's crazy. Well, she said she had to respond to the emails, but
Well, so she's going to do it then. That's good.
maybe.
That's exciting.
But yeah, so that was probably my favourite thing to do about this, was to kind of, from the visuals, have a story. And then in the editing, I just literally put the music on it Monday night. Then Joe came back from work, so I was like, I spent a lot of time in the first song, and I was like, it's perfect timing, it's good, blah, blah. And then she was like, I'm home, and I was like, fuck, put everything on. And then the next day, come in for about 2 hours and just make it match a bit better.
Yeah.
What kind of music? Like, what's the music like?
It's so very old. A lot of I
nice.
used music from Bride of the Monster, which is
Yeah.
like, have you seen that film?
I've not.
No, but I've heard of it.
It's awful. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Joe loves it. I think we should have a watch party and just like consume Ed Wood for a bit.
Yeah.
But I use music from that, so very bum 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 bum, you know.
Nice.
And I use music from Nosferatu, the 1921 one.
Nice.
Music from Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is very funny.
Yeah.
Because the opening sequence of that I hadn't noticed when actually watching the film, but in editing the music is very much like
Yeah, no, I know the
over
track.
and over
It's
and
very
over
good.
again.
Yeah.
So I just use that, and I think it's so funny to just have the character.
Oh, it's such a good track. I love that one. It's by someone called like Wojak or something. No,
Postman.
100%.
That's magic.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a
Wojak. I'm very excited. It sounds very unique.
lot of church music I used, a lot of choir shit.
Nice. That suits the church.
I also had that
Yeah.
Wojak.
Woodcheck killer.
it's a name with too many consonants, like I used that, what's that one that goes, it's back, it was da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
So I used that one, and then when I showed Joe was like, how'd you do that? How'd you get the copyright? And I was like, the copyright?
Yeah.
Every song in this thing is copyright. Like, how's that one the one you pick up on when the guy's been dead 200 years?
Yeah, how does that work? Just get out of here.
Yeah.
The house of. You want to wrap up?
We could.
You got a blast? Okay. I hope you've enjoyed this stream. All 3 people. Scottish Geek Guy. Cheers.
Thanks for being here, Scottish Geek Guy. Thanks for your
Um,
question.
this was a real patch up. Oh, someone's just joined.
Who is
hello.
it?
And that's it. There's been people dropping out quite a bit.
Nice. Well, more to come. Maybe even today.
That person just left.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank
talking
you for
about your
having
films.
us. I really enjoy doing these things with you.
Yeah.
It's,
How long has this been on? It's been on for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pretty good.
I like your radio show because I think it's good practice for me to actually like talk about filmmaking. You know what I mean?
What? Thanks. What do you mean? Good practice?
Well, in the sense that I always feel quite like shy and sheepish talking about films to anybody, even other filmmakers, and it's like we're all kind of now starting to get to this stage in our like filmmaking careers where it's like, no, we're actually artists now. You know what I mean? We actually
that's
have to
nice.
talk about it, or we have to make decisions and discuss them,
Mhm.
as opposed to just being. It's not that stage anymore. Where it's like, oh, you made a movie. You know what I mean? It's,
Definitely.
we need to stop being proud of what we're doing.
Yeah,
And
I guess the change for me would be like talking about what I like often, like films, and then being able to talk about what you've made, so you can kind of back up what you like with what you've made. Makes it more of like a whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like my go-to instinct is always to talk down my films. By the way, we can end and talk more about this. Like
me too, 100%.
Like I don't know, I'm never confident enough to be like, yeah, so it's awesome. I did the lighting and that, blah blah blah. I'm always like, yeah, it's a silly wee film about vampires.
Yeah, I'm the exact same.
The passion's good. We need this passion.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah,
getting used
It
to
feels good.
Definitely. I hope you felt the passion. All 3 to 4. Tune in for all the other episodes. I'm sure they will be just as passionate.
I hope so.
And look out for Josh and Logan's film on the
Adultery
channel
of the
if you're
Dead.
not the ATVAs.
Pop love.
Yeah.
Bye.
Brilliant.
I don't know how you
Everybody.
end. No, you press end stream.
Where's that? Oh,
Big button at the bottom.
good end stream.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
What?
Bye.